and most of them are around the very key positions, the staff positions.
Rob, Socorro's strength is their skill positions. Quarterback Tony Torres, he's averaging just over 110 yards passing per game. He's thrown for 5 touchdowns. And Rob, this kid is just a junior. Now, for leadership, the Bulldogs are going to look to their big senior fullback, Robert Cardiel. He earned all district honors last year, rushing for 850 yards. And he's also going to be lending his talents to the other side of the ball, anchoring that mad dog defense at middle linebacker.
On the other side, it's the Eastwood Troopers. They're 3-1. They're coming into tonight's game. Really, Paul, in the last 4 games, they haven't been very consistent, have they?
Rob, the Eastwood offense has been a paragon of inconsistency. They came from behind in their first 3 games. They had to come from behind to beat both Coronado and Austin. They didn't show up at all, frankly, against Odessa. And last week, while they had a big game, they bounced back. They scored a lot of points, and Coach Todd Ware hopes that his team has all the kinks worked out and that now that they can finally string 2 good halves of football together.
Coach Todd Ware's offense centers around 2 of the hottest players right now in the city. It's quarterback Rocky Daly and running back Eric Jack. And I mean to say, these kids are hot.
Rocky Daly is really coming of age as a senior, Rob. He's thrown thus far on this season 538 yards and 7 touchdowns. Now, when you talk about the Eastwood running game, one name comes to mind, and that is Eric Jack. Jack holds the distinction as the first El Paso runner to go over the 500 yards rushing this season. And with talent like Daly and Jack in the backfield, it's no wonder that Eastwood's offense is so balanced.
The high school game of the week is the Eastwood Troopers against the Socorro Bulldogs. That's what they're doing down here. They're having a good time. We're going to have one heck of a crowd tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. This Paragon Sports exclusive is being brought to you in part by your neighborhood Safeway store and the El Paso Teachers Federal Credit Union. Tonight's kickoff is coming right up.
I'm a student, so I'm going to get a loan for my new Barbie doll. Can I open an account? Sure, I'm going to put my money in my savings.
Hi, Jason. Are you depositing your allowance?
Yeah.
Well, now that you're a member, your whole family can join the credit union and take care of all their financial needs in one place. When I was a little girl, I financed my first Barbie house here. But nowadays, I use my Gold MasterCard. Oh, hi, Mr. Brown.
Hi there. Need some help, young man?
I know just how you feel.
The El Paso Teachers Federal Credit Union is looking for people who need money because we have low rates, convenient terms, and over $15 million to loan. See us at one of our 3 convenient El Paso locations.
Good evening and welcome to Socorro Stadium here in the Lower Valley, where tonight it's the defending District 2-5A champions, the Eastwood Troopers, playing the Socorro Bulldogs, and we expect a near-capacity crowd tonight. I'm Paul Zimmerman along with Rob Camp, and Camp, these guys down here are wild about their Mad Dog football.
That's exactly right, Paul. They had a couple years ago, the Socorro School District said, we're not going to take this anymore. We are not going to be the doormats. We called, they got mad. They said, we are madder than heck. And we are going to be dog crazy about football. And you'll hear them tonight. I promise you. They're going and they'll be having a good time this evening. It's going to be a wild and woolly football game.
Socorro Bulldogs fresh off a 2-game losing streak, and they're going to look to rebound tonight. Lost a heartbreaker last weekend to Ysleta. Came down right to the wire, and the opening kickoff is going to be done by the Eastwood Troopers as Socorro won the toss, and set to kick it off is going to be Chris Chapato as we get underway in week number 5.
Brad Garcia and Jeff Quintana are back deep for to receive the kickoff. Socorro will be in the red jerseys. Eastwood is in the white. Here we go.
The kick is up. It's a short end-over-end kick, and it's going to be filled at about the 10-yard line. There's a little reverse coming to the near side, and Ernie Mesa has one man to beat. He cuts around the corner to the near side and is finally run out of bounds, but not before he's up to about the 45-yard line. A little trickery right off the bat, Rob.
Very nicely done also by the Socorro Bulldogs, saying, okay, John. By the way, Coach John Parchman of the Socorro Bulldogs said, hey, we're going to pull out a few tricks tonight. And the only man that could really catch him was number 7. Here's the reverse right here, and all he had to do is get past this This one man right here, and coming out of your from the left side of your picture is number 7 to push him out of down bounds. 1st and 10 for Socorro, 44.
Socorro Bulldogs start 1st down and 10 in excellent field position. They run out of the I formation. The quarterback, Tony Torres. And on 1st down, he's looking to pass. Here comes the blitz, and he locks it high over the middle. It's tipped and caught by number 85 for the Socorro Bulldogs. That's Raul Oaxaca, the reserve wide receiver.
Right. Raul Oaxaca. Just happened. It was like the old tip drill. Watch the ball. Here goes the quarterback. He goes back to throw. Now watch the ball be tipped by the offensive player, and watch him catch the ball. Good camera work. Great catch. Great camera work from Paragon Cable. 1st and 10 for Socorro.
At the 28-yard line of the Eastwood Troopers, they scrimmage. It's the inside handoff is going to go to Robert Cardiel, the big senior fullback, and he doesn't find much running room straight up the middle. Perhaps a gain of about 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 7.
John Parchman told us this afternoon that Cardiel does not come off the field. He hardly ever comes off the field. He is last year's District 2-5A player for all-district player for Socorro.
All-district fullback gained 850 yards, and he's lined up in the backfield once again. Torres is going to pitch back. It's Cardiel, and he meets Quincy Randolph right about the line of scrimmage. Also went on the stop, Matt Martinez, to make the knockdown for the troop after short yardage. Going to be 3rd down and make it about 4 yards to go for the 1st.
Eastwood comes out of a 5 defense, and it's very, very interesting how they'll shoot their linebackers. Sometimes they'll have 5 people up front and 4 linebackers, and they'll shoot the gap, what we call a 5-4-2, and we should see a lot of that this evening.
Big 3rd down play for the Socorro Bulldogs, taking advantage of the tip pass for big yardage on the first play of this ball game. Now it's 3rd down, and Tony Torres doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to call timeout and go over to the sidelines and talk about things with head coach John Parchman.
John Parchman is saying, okay, Tony, what do you see the problem is here? They lined up, we just got done talking about how Eastwood will line up in a 5-4. Well, Eastwood went to a 4-3, and it looked like they were going to try and throw the football, but they were very, very strong on the corner to where they had their wide receivers.
It's a big 3rd down play, and Tony Torres doesn't want to take any chances. The Bulldogs could break out first in this one. Last year, Socorro broke out on top first, and they led early, and Eastwood had to come from behind before they won that game, 27-21. A lot of people come out for this game in the Lower Valley, and 2 years ago when they played, they were standing 6 deep around the track, and they talked about moving this game to the Sun Bowl. But head coach John Parchman, he wants to keep it down here in the Lower Valley and try to take advantage of this home field.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, big 3rd down play for the Socorro Bulldogs. They scrimmage at about the 25-yard line. Inside give is going to go to number 30, Abel Madrid, the reserve flanker, and he won't get much. He'll be short of the 1st down, going to bring up 4th and decision time for the Socorro Bulldogs.
4th and 3. Now, Socorro does very, very well when they get to the outside. They will probably go to a power I. When you're down this far, and after that tip pass, it covered 29 yards, by the way, Paul. Socorro will probably go ahead and go to the outside. They're trying to get Eastwood on the inside. And, well, as I say this, they bring in 2 more players. This should be a very interesting ball game here because Socorro's kicker, what I understand, is just a junior.
Ernie Mesa checks into the ball game along with Raul Oaxaca, and it's Oaxaca split out to the far side. Wing left is Mesa. Now he goes in motion away. Torres takes a snap. He's rolling out, looking for the pass over the middle. Has his man, Oaxaca, inside for 1st down yardage. Nice pass play by Tony Torres, finding Oaxaca over the middle. And Rob, the Socorro Bulldogs have gone to the pass a lot more than they have in the past, where they used to pass about 20%.
Oaxaca just takes what they give him. All he does, he just drags right across the middle, right in front. There's a zone there between your linebackers and your safeties, and they give him about 7 yards, and we'll take that. All you need is like 4 yards for a 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Socorro Bulldogs.
Looks like 1st and goal just inside the 10. Absolutely. They're going to make it 1st and goal. 2 backs behind Torres, and he's going to keep it straight up the middle. Not much room as he works through across Jorge McNichol. And the stop's going to be made by number 54, Bobby Flores, for the troop.
Well, it looked like that was a bad snap from the quarterback. Looks like the center for Socorro and Torres couldn't get it together. So that what they tried to do is he just took it and just tuck it under right under the center there. And he said, okay, let's make it the best as we can. 2nd down and goal to go about the 7-yard line. Good crowd on hand tonight, as you can see. This place will start rocking and rolling.
Good opening drive in progress with the Socorro Bulldogs. They're down at the 8-yard line, and motion away is Ernie Mesa once again. Back to pass is Torres. Looks to the end zone. He has Mesa. Touchdown. Tony Torres to Ernie Mesa. Mesa catching his 4th touchdown of 1988. And Socorro jumps out on top 6-0 here in the Lower Valley.
Mesa, he was the man that went in motion. We'll show this in the replay in a second after they do the point after. 8.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Socorro comes on top. This could be a very high-scoring ball game. Both teams should be at the top of the list in District 2-5A. Of course, Eastwood is the one that is defending the crown.
The all-important PAT. It's Angel Ronquillo holding Mesa. The ball is down. The kick is up and through, and Socorro jumps out on top 7-0 after a superlative opening drive in this ball game.
Here's the replay of the touchdown. You see him on the top of the screen going in motion. What they do is they clear it out into the corner. Torres just throws it right wide open over here. 6 points for the Socorro Bulldogs, and we have a 7-0 ball game with about 8 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. What the drive look like there, Pat?
Scoring drive, 7 plays, 55 yards after the little reverse on the opening kickoff. Started at the 45. Took only 7 plays before Tony Torres hits Ernie Mesa on an 8-yard touchdown pass.
Torres is 3 for 3 for 48 yards and already 1 touchdown. Remember last week he had a big game against Ysleta, did he not? And a couple weeks ago he had a big game against Fort Stockton.
He had a huge game against Ysleta last week. 4 receptions for 58 yards, Rob.
Back deep for the Eastwood Troopers is Ish Martinez. And is that Davis?
It's Eric Jack, the prolific junior. And the Dogs are stumping here in the Lower Valley as Angel Ronquillo has it teed up at the 40-yard line. It's a squib kick, going to go to about the 45-yard line before a Trooper jumps on top of it. Number 51 for the Troopers, Mario Bubba Aguilar fielding the ball, and the Troop will start in pretty good field position as well, 46-yard line.
John Parkman pulling out all the stops here. They do a reverse on the opening kickoff, and then they try an onside kick to try to get things going. They like the home field advantage. Of course, any coach does. But when you're down here and you're a hometown and you're ready to play some football against Eastwood, 1st and 10 for the Troop.
Eastwood offense comes with 2 setbacks. One man split out to the far side is John McCartan. Motion to the near side is Hubert McGraw. He sets up on the right wing. The handoff goes to Jack, and he is stuffed in the backfield for a loss of 6 yards.
Can you say penetration? Well, we talked about Coach John Parchman and how his defense will be different. They usually show an even defense where they play 4 men up front, and then they play 3 linebackers. But Coach Parchman said tonight against Eastwood, wherever Eric Jack goes, even if he goes to the restroom or the concession stand, he's going to have 3 dogs all over his back. 2nd down, 16 for Eastwood.
Officially a loss of 4, going to be 2nd down and 14. McCartan splits to the near side. Ish Martinez and Eric Jack are the backs behind quarterback Rocky Daly. Daly rolls out to the far side, and he is sacked again in the backfield. Socorro defense getting in penetration big time, Rob.
9 players coming after Rocky Daly, and it was a good thing that because Rocky didn't have anybody to throw it to, he sent 2 players out, 2 receivers out, and they were both covered very, very well. Very important play now for Eastwood. Right now, the Old Mo is with the home team. They have the lead 7-0. Makes it 3rd down and long.
3rd down and 20 yards to go. McGraw splits to the left side. John McCartan to the near side. Rocky Daly looks to pass. Quick pass over the middle. Slant pattern. Hubert McGraw can't hold on to it. The ball is almost intercepted. Ball falling incomplete, however. Having a shot at it for the Socorro Bulldogs, number 85, Raul Oaxaca.
Oaxaca almost makes the interception. When he throws the ball up this high, Hubert McGraw is saying, oh, God, I don't want to catch this, because when you go up there, your ribs are open. You're going to come down with some sore kidneys because your defensive backs are trying, okay, stick the helmet right into the kidneys and make them pay for that catch. And that's what McGraw was looking for. And Oaxaca would have had the interception hadn't he been going for the big hit. 4th and about 22, and I think Eastwood's calling a timeout. They are saying, hey, there's something wrong with the game. And
right now we're going to take timeout. 7:16 remaining to play in the first quarter of this ball game. It's Socorro 7, Eastwood nothing. We'll be right back in a moment.
CNN, the leader in live news coverage and more. delivering more business news programming than any other broadcast network.
CNN Business News has learned that
Series and specials that explore and investigate.
You can cure AIDS.
Sports coverage that goes beyond the scores.
Well, how dirty is it? What happens? Is it drugs?
Award-winning programs, both entertaining
He's sitting there like he's in Rockaway in a beach chair.
and provocative.
Are you comparing?
CNN, it's not just news. It's real live television.
Welcome back to the Lower Valley, Socorro Stadium. We have 7:16 left to play in the opening half. Socorro 7, Eastwood nothing. I'm Paul Zimmerman along with Rob Camp, and the Eastwood Troopers facing 4th down and 20, and it's Bobby Flores back in punt formation. It's a high snap, but he pulls it down, and he gets away a good kick. It's going to be taken by Ernie Mesa at about the 25.
Oh, Mesa's showing some speed. He almost got back to the outside on a good return for Socorro Bulldogs, and they will set up in pretty decent field position just past the 31 at the 32-yard line.
Offensive lineup for the Socorro Bulldogs tonight. Ernie Mesa, the wideout. Mike Fabella and Jesse Maesa are the tackles. Albert Bustamante, Edgar Garcia, the guards. Anthony Zapata hiking the ball to quarterback Tony Torres. And his tailback will be Mike Trevino. Fullback Robert Cardiel, the all-district performer of a year ago. And the wingback is Abel Madrid. They scrimmage 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line, and the inside give is to Trevino, and he finds a hole and gets into the Trooper secondary. He's out across the 40 up to the 43-yard line.
Plain old trap play is exactly what John Parchman called on this. They were going after the all-city, or I should say the all-district running back, and watch him just cross right here. He goes back there. Here's Trevino. Just an old cross buck, and here's Trevino. Oh, good. All I got green. It's going to be it's going to be Eastwood's linebackers and secondary making the stop after a pickup of almost 10 yards. As a matter of fact, it's close enough for a measurement, and on the spot of the ball, we'll let you make the call.
They got enough, babe.
No problem whatsoever.
Another first down for the Socorro Bulldogs as they keep the momentum going. Eastwood defense tonight. George Figueroa, Eddie Gutierrez, Jorge McNichol, Robert Rivera, and Gene Scott across the defensive front. Matt Martinez and Quincy Randolph, the linebackers. Tyrone Davis, Hubert McGraw, John McCartan, and Tony Marufo, the secondary. 1st and 10 for the Socorro Bulldogs. Split backs behind Tony Torres. The give is to the first man through, Cardiel, and he finds nothing up the middle, but Eastwood Troopers, perhaps maybe a gain of a yard, maybe none.
I was going to say, I don't think they gave. There's a shot of the crowd. We do have one heck of a crowd tonight so far, and the people are still coming in, and they sell a lot of programs here in Socorro. 2nd and 10 for the Socorro Bulldogs after they got their 5th first down here in the first quarter.
Jackie Alvarado split to the far side. On 2nd down and 10, delay give is going to go to Cardiel, and he is met hard at the line of scrimmage. Stepping up to make the stop for the Eastwood Troopers, number 34, Matt Martinez. He just labeled Robert Cardiel on that one, Rob.
Just a slow developing play from Socorro. If they'd have done that just a little bit quicker, I think that he would have picked up a couple more yards on the play. Makes it 3rd down and 10. Just got back to the line of scrimmage for Socorro. Watch another trick play over here to this side.
Motion away once again is Ernie Mesa, and Torres is back to pass. He's looking long, under pressure, and he'll just throw this one away. Throws it in the general vicinity of Raul Oaxaca, and it falls incomplete. Going to force 4th down, and the Troopers are going to get the ball back. Good
pressure from Eastwood's defense as the quarterback for Socorro felt all the heat that he wanted, and Torres just says, I got to get rid of this. He just threw the ball, you were right, in the direction or in the area of one of his players. Makes it 4th down. A little bit, I think both teams have now settled down. Going back deep for Eastwood are
going to be, it looks like, number 24, Tyrone Davis, along with the dangerous Eric Jack. It's a high snap, but it's pulled down by Ronquillo, and he gets a high boot away. It looks like it's going to be taken by Davis. Well, he called a fair catch, it looks like.
Tyrone Davis did stick his hand up real quick, and he did. He said, wait a minute, I better do this, because this thing is as high as the Goodyear blend.
Precarious job it is, returning punts.
I'll say.
Eastwood Troopers will start 1st and 10 at their 19-yard line.
5 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. And it's all been Socorro so far, but Eastwood, I think, will try to open it up. Probably see a little bit more passing tonight.
Excellent opening drive. The Trooper offense has been a little bit inconsistent thus far, and they didn't look real good on their first offensive series, and Todd Ware probably hoping for an improvement right here. Penalty flag is down as the pitchback goes to Jack. Breaking tackles, and he's out to about the 25-yard line, but once again, a penalty marker is down. and we will check the call.
Bulldogs are starting to shoot, and I think they're starting to move a little bit. Let's see what the call is. Shift
Illegal motion.
Right, illegal motion against the Eastwood Troopers. That'll push them back 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15 from the, let's call it the 14-yard line for the Eastwood Troopers. Very interesting. If you keep your eye on the linebackers, they're going to be shooting the gaps. What I mean by that is the holes between the down linemen. Now, if you're a football fan, I'm sure that you know what that is. There's a shot of Coach John Parchman. Says he's very glad that Paragon Cable is doing the game tonight. He's going to make sure he watches it tomorrow.
Parchman in his 4th year here at Socorro, and it's been his coaching staff and the consistency that he has brought in that has brought Mad Dog football into being. Hubert McGraw split to the near side on first down and 15, and Daly is under pressure, and he goes down in a heap of red jerseys.
Count the number of jerseys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys. They dropped 4 back. That's exactly what they were going to do. Talked about today.
Robert Rivera, the starting guard for the Eastwood Troopers, is injured, and Troop not getting much help on that one.
Count the number of jerseys. That was something else. That was very, very fast. Third down, 19 for Eastwood as they just keep on going backwards.
Fast motion replay there.
The tape. I love it. Look for the long bomb. I'm looking for a deep pass. If they can get the time.
Loss of 5 yards on the play, and twin receivers to the near side now for the Eastwood Troopers. It's Watson and McCartan. Quick pass goes to McCartan, and he has a hole, and he's up across the 20-yard line, up to the 24. He's going to be short of first down yardage, and it's going to bring up third down, and looks to be about 7 yards to go for the first.
Right, Paul. All he did was a quick look in, because they're going man on man as Parchman is trying to keep his backs up so they can do bump and run, and then they'll do a man-to-man real close, and then they'll go back to his zone.
Good play call for the pressure that the Bulldogs are sending. The one-step drop, quick pass. It's high percentage, and give it to a man like McCartan, and he is dangerous in open field. Inside give on the play goes to Ish Martinez, and he has a hole, and he breaks out near midfield. First down, a big first down for the Eastwood Troopers. The Socorro Bulldog down on the field. Looks to be number 84, Luis Garcia, but he gets up now. Troopers first and 10.
Bulldogs take themselves out of the play. They just do a quick handoff, just a quick draw, and he just runs by. Ish Martinez runs by a lot of the Bulldogs, and I said, whoa, wait a minute, we got to come back and just try this again. First and 10 for the Eastwood Troopers, about the 48-yard line. Good crowd tonight, starting to fill up over on the other side. Now, 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Welcome to Paragon Cable's 5th game of high school football '88.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line. It's Martinez coming in motion out of the backfield. That leaves Jack alone. High percentage pass goes over to Watson on the far sideline. He cuts upfield, and he's out into Socorro Bulldog territory inside the 45 before he can be drug out of bounds by Dan Vallejo.
Vallejo just put his arms around the white. That's right at the 45, as a matter of fact, Paul. And he just corralled him and said, okay, let me bulldog you down just like the rodeo.
Once again, the high percentage passing game working to perfection for Coach Todd Ware. He says that his offense was inconsistent through the first 3 games because they were trying to force things. They weren't taking what the defense was giving them. And right now they're trying to take what Socorro's giving them. 2 wide receivers to the near side. It's Watson and McCartan. And Daly scrimmages on 2nd down and 4. Quick pass goes to McCartan, and great contact by Ernie Mesa. Timed the hit just right and knocked the ball loose from McCartan right as it arrived, Rob.
Can you say hurt? Ooh, that's smart. Watch this. This looks like a car crash down at the Demolition Derby, I swear, down here in Socorro. Watch the ball come right into McCartan's hands, and we'll feel the helmet crash. McCartan saying, where those stars come from? Get that truck number. 2nd and 10 from the 45 for Eastwood in Socorro territory.
Rather going to be 3rd down and 3. 3 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. 7-0 Socorro. Twin receivers to the near side. The one-step drop. Quick pass over the middle. Complete to Hubert McGraw. And he's down to the 40-yard line for a first down for Eastwood.
McGraw is just coming off the line of scrimmage as a tight end, and he just slides right behind the linebackers. Watch McGraw come from the top of your screen, and Daly will just flip it right over. 2 3-step drops. Here's McGraw throwing a little bit low, and the linebackers on his knees having to make the stop on McGraw. 1st and 10. Good calling, good play calling from the Eastwood Troopers.
Ball possession drive for the Troopers in progress right now. First and 10, and the pitch back goes to Jack. And Jack works across the 40, the 35. He's around the corner, and he was not out of bounds yet until he's down inside what looks to be the 10-yard line, maybe down to the 5.
I think he's down to the 5, Paul. Eric Jack just showed El Paso how many times this man can run. Just give him the football. I guess he's like what Herschel Walker is to the Dallas Cowboys. This pitch out is just a little bit low. Look at the athletic ability here. Look, and he has to tuck it up under there. Now, Jack just says, wait a minute, let me cut back out here to the outside where he has some people. He uses some speed and goes down here. It looks like he's going to get knocked out of bounds, but look at the balance he shows, and then he runs down for about 10, 15 more yards, and then his feet slip out from under him trying to make the cut.
First down and 10 inside the 5, and Eric Jack carries the ball inside off left tackle for a touchdown for the Eastwood Troopers.
Just hard and straight right up the middle, right up the gut up against Socorro.
Eric Jack, the big play back for the Eastwood Troopers, and what's wild is he almost didn't end up at Eastwood. He almost went to Bel Air.
Right. That's absolutely right. And they tried one of those fake plays again like they did against Coronado in the first week, and what happened is that they lined up against them, but there is a flag down. There is a flag down. Let's see what the referee says here as he's coming over to make the call. Socorro is going out for the kickoff. It must be against, yes it is. It is against Eastwood. Yeah, score is 7-6 in favor of Socorro. What Eastwood tried to do is set up a quick one and try to to surprise the Socorro Bulldogs, and without a huddle, they snapped the ball back over to the to the receiver, but he wasn't ready. The ball went way over his head, and they had to go back and fall on the ball because now you can return those PATs, those failed PATs. If the defense can pick up the ball or if they intercept the pass, it'd be no problem.
Troopers come back and drive the long field to make this a one-point ball game. 7-6 now the score. Drove 81 yards on that drive, Rob.
Jack picked up 37 yards on that one drive with one touchdown out of 3 carries. Pretty good deal.
Last week against Parkland, Eric Jack had a huge game, 144 yards rushing, had 3 touchdowns. One was a 57-yard run, and one was a 7-yard run, and he also returned a punt for 56 yards, and he's looking to have another big game tonight.
Eastwood picked up 2 first downs. Todd Ware said if Jack can get over 100 yards, we usually win the ball game.
Chris Chaparro set to kick it away with 2:18 to play in the opening quarter. 7-6 the score. The ball is going to come down to Ernie Mesa. Tries to cut out to the left side. Now sees too many Troopers. Now cuts around the right. He has an alley up the far sideline, and he'll get up to about the 30-yard line before he's finally bumped out of bounds.
Can't say that dog football ain't exciting, because as soon as Mesa picked up the football, he said, wait a minute, I got to make a decision here. Let me call a committee. And then they went to the far sideline and one right up the sideline, picked up another 10, 15 yards. First and 10 for the Bulldogs at about the, let's call it the 29-yard line. And here comes the Bulldogs out of the huddle.
Split to the near side, Jackie Alvarado, the wide receiver. 2 backs behind Tony Torres as they scrimmage on first down. Pitch back, and this is Cardiel. The flag is down on the play. Cardiel working hard around the left side for short yardage. But once again, a penalty marker down.
Second down. Well, they'll probably make this 1st and 10 again. There we go. Legal procedure against Socorro. I think Eastwood will probably take the penalty because he picked up a pretty good chunk of yardage there. It'll be 1st and 15 for Socorro.
Interesting about the Socorro offense. Now they're going about a 60-40 split on the pass and run, running about 60, passing about 40. That used to be just 20. Socorro used to be, you used to expect them to run all the time.
Most all the time. They used to run a wishbone, as a matter of fact, until John Parchman said until they got some skilled position players down here in Lower Valley.
After the penalty, going to be 1st down and 15 to go for the Socorro Bulldogs. Split to the near side, Raul Oaxaca, but they'll keep it on the ground and go to the run. Straight up the middle for about 5 yards goes Mike Trevino.
Ran out of a power eye, and all they did was just hand it off to Trevino and what you call a wham play, where they run one back up the middle as a blocking back after they fake it to him, and then he picks up whatever it is on the with another different colored jersey, and then Trevino followed off that block off the back end or the rear end of the blocking back and picked up some pretty good yardage.
Socorro offense averaging 244.8 yards per game. And they scrimmage now on second down and about 10 as they make up the penalty. Mesa goes in motion, and I think he crossed the line of scrimmage before the ball was hiked. Pass is complete over the middle to number 84, Luis Garcia, but I don't think it's going to count, Rob.
Right. Mesa is just getting across that is Mesa who's going in motion up there, and he's just going, he's crossing the line of scrimmage in a legal procedure again for the Bulldogs, and coach is over there talking to him saying, hey, Mesa, wait till the ball is snapped. Listen to the snap count in the huddle. That's all you got to do. If we say on 2, that's when you take your first step.
The adrenaline was pumping, and he wanted to get upfield in a hurry.
But, Coach, I want to hit somebody. I got to hit somebody, you know.
Ernie Mesa, the only legitimate sprinter on this Socorro Bulldog team. Not particularly fast, but they got some guys who are very strong, and they got pretty fair size. They scrimmage now on second down and 15, and Mesa again comes in motion to the near side. Torres is back to pass, and he's going to be sacked hard. Oh, the Eastwood Troopers getting in there. And in on the stop first is number 55, Quincy Randolph, the junior outside linebacker.
Quincy did a nice job of coming in off from the blind side, by the way, and they did a little bit of a stunt, Eastwood Troopers did, and it messed up the Socorro offensive blocking assignments. And Torres did a nice job of hanging onto the football, because when you get hit like that, blind side, that hurts.
Tables are a-turning. Socorro defense coming up with the big plays early on in the first quarter, as we now have 26 seconds left to play in the opening fourth of this ball game. 7-6 the score in favor of Socorro. And it's going to be third down and a millennium. They come out of the I formation. The fullback is Cardiel. The tailback is Trevino. And on the delay give, it's going to be Trevino, and he is met by the nose guard, number 44, Jorge McNichol, for perhaps a gain of a yard, maybe.
What they're trying to do is just try to mess up. Watch Jorge McNichol, an all preseason city pick. Here's the football, just a handoff. Jorge McNichol said, okay, no problem, just like practice. Let me make the stop, and it'll be no problem whatsoever. At the end of the first quarter, we're down here in Socorro with the score 7 for Socorro, 6 for Eastwood.
It's a salute to savings at Safeway. Save on quality General Mills products. Betty Crocker layer cake mixes, assorted flavors, just 65 cents for the 18-ounce box. And gold medal flour is only 99 cents for the 5-pound bag. Plus, regular or Honey Nut Cheerios are a low $2.19 in the 14-ounce box. Don't miss Salute to Savings from General Mills and your neighborhood Safeway through October 4th.
Get packed for daily departures to Miami on USA. Miami Vice. Every night on USA Network. Miami Vice, premiering October 3rd.
Welcome back to the Lower Valley, Socorro Stadium. Paul Zimmerman with Rob Kemp as we're just about to start the second quarter. Angel Ronquillo back to punt it away. It's a high kick. It's a good one. It looks like it's going to bound and not going to be touched by Eric Jack. It takes a trooper bounce inside Socorro territory. Going to be downed at about the 43-yard line, and that's where the troop will take it over on their first offensive play of the second quarter.
Good crowd on tonight in the stadium for tonight's ball game between these two teams. Should be a very, very rocking and rolling thing tonight.
Socorro broke out on top first. Their initial drive of the ball game went 55 yards down the field. Tony Torres hit Ernie Mesa wide open in the corner of the end zone on an 8-yard touchdown pass, 7-0. Then the troop, just as we were closing the first quarter, Eric Jack scored on a 5-yard touchdown run. And now the troop scrimmaging in excellent field position. A little bit of motion from the troopers, but no flags down. And this is Eric Jack working to the outside. Jack up for about a gain of 4 yards on the play. And on the stop for the Socorro Bulldogs, number 51, Harold Cole, one of the few returners on the Socorro Bulldog defensive front.
You can tell this is inexperience because the jumping, when you are usually told from your coaches, if the offensive player jumps, you're just supposed to go over and make contact, and then the penalty is on them. So they didn't do it, so they got away with it. Second down and about 5 for Eastwood.
Two backs behind quarterback Rocky Daly. Motion to the near side comes from McCartan. Pitch back, and it's going to be the money back. Eric Jack, he has room, and he breaks tackles. He's into the clear. He could go the distance. Eric Jack, touchdown. I don't see any penalty flags down on the field.
No. That's,
and it's going to be a 40-yard touchdown run for Eric Jack, his second of the ball game.
It looks like that's what Eastwood's entire game plan is to let those linebackers come, shoot the gap, so we'll give the ball to Eric Jack, let him get to the outside, and just make the seal for Eric Jack to run those whatever he can get. They're going to try the extra point this time. They try because they missed the first one. Now it is now 12-7. They'll try to make it 13-7. They could fake though.
They'll tee it up for Chris Chaparro, the holder, John McCartan. The ball is up and it splits the uprights. And now the Eastwood Troopers jump out on top, 12-7, 11:03 left to play in the second quarter.
Watch Eric Jack. Watch him get the football. Daly just turns around after he gets the snap and he pitches it back to Jack, and Jack just says, okay, let me read the blocks. Look at this athletic ability. He cuts back. Now, let me turn on the afterburners, and here comes the Jets. And the referee gets in the way. Nice block from the ref on the Socorro Bulldog. Touchdown, 40 yards, and that makes it 13-7. Jack now has 81 yards on four attempts for 2 touchdowns.
Eric Jack, the prolific one, and Coach Bob Savage, sure, much to his chagrin, he let a big one go.
He's going, why do you have to move out? Why do you have to, golly sakes.
But one man's loss is another man's gain, and Coach Todd Ware is smiling all the way to the bank.
He is, isn't he? All the way to the wing column, maybe.
No doubt about it. Ernie Mesa back deep to receive for the Socorro Bulldogs, and Chris Chaparro will tee it up at the 40-yard line.
Chaparro will probably try and kick it away from Mesa because he's showing all the speed that he has.
Also, Gabriel Islas back on the far side to return this ball for Socorro. Chris Chaparro, a soccer player. Didn't play a down of football before the 1988 season. Coach Todd Ware saw this kid kicking soccer balls and said, hey, come try to kick one of these oblong things. And Chaparro's come on and done a heck of a job. It's a short kick by Chaparro, and it's going to be fielded by Mesa as he comes up to field this one. Mesa working to the outside, and he is cut down by number 52, George Figueroa. Right as Mesa tried to cut upfield, Socorro will take over on their first offensive possession of the second quarter.
Tyrone Davis also ran on the stop. Tyrone is also all over the field. He plays on everything. I was talking to Coach Ware before the game tonight. He said that Todd Ware told me that Tyrone is ready to play some football tonight. He doesn't really want to come off the field. 1st and 10, and the Socorro Bulldogs open shop deep in their territory.
From the 28-yard line, 2 backs behind quarterback Tony Torres. Pitch back goes to Trevino, working the near side, but great penetration by that Trooper defense to force Trevino to run wide before he can get upfield for too many yards. Might be a gain of a yard on the play.
Watch the great penetration from the Eastwood Troopers. They know it's going to be a sweep. Here he catches the football, and then here comes the Eastwood Trooper defense. But he breaks away right into your neighborhood, and then he's pushed out of bounds. After what, about 3 or 4 yards? Let's make it 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8.
Eddie Gutierrez in on that last tackle. 2nd down and 8 from the 30-yard line for the Socorro Bulldogs. Inside give to Trevino, and he is met immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on that carry.
You got 2 all preseason city picks for your for the playing up front for Eastwood, and they were throwing the ball very, very well. Socorro did. That's how they opened it up. I think you're going to have to go back to the air, but that's why I'm up here now. I'm not back on the sideline. 3rd down and long for Socorro.
You're never down on the sidelines anymore, Rob.
That's right.
85, Raul Oaxaca split to the near side. Wing right is Abel Madrid. I formation for the Socorro Bulldogs, and the inside give is going to go to 35, I do believe, Mike Trevino. A little bit of trouble on the exchange right there. Torres keeping the ball as Trevino couldn't take it away from him, I guess.
It's just a comedy of errors back there, and that's not they're just a little bit uptight now. They're behind, and they're trying to say, okay, I got to look good in front of everybody.
4th down and punting time once again for the Socorro Bulldogs. Eastwood defense starting to assert itself here in the start of the second quarter. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the opening half. 13-7 in favor of the Eastwood Troopers.
Good snap.
Angel Ronquillo boots it away. It's another pretty good kick, and it's going to be fielded by number 24 for the Eastwood Troopers. That's Tyrone Davis.
Tyrone almost dropped that football. As you see, I think he lost it in the lights, to be quite honest with you, because it's a left-footed kicker, and usually, this might sound real stupid, but think about the spin of the football for just a second. Let's go back to a little bit. On the right foot, they're usually kicking this way, and the ball will spin one way, but on the left foot, when it comes off a kicker's foot, it'll spin the other way, and it just messes up just something little.
Eastwood offense has scored on their last 2 possessions. Let's see if they can keep it going. They come out with split backs behind quarterback Rocky Daly. Motion to the near side from Brian Watson, and he'll line up wing left. Pitch back goes to number 33, Ish Martinez, caught in the backfield. Penalty marker flies, and Martinez gets caught down for a loss, but we'll check the call on this one.
Ish Martinez didn't have a place to go, and they're going to call holding against the Eastwood Troopers, and they will probably take this penalty. As Martinez lost, well, he might. They could make it 2nd down and 12, but they will probably take it back because this is a big one.
Eastwood Troopers have the 2nd best offense as far as total yards accumulated. They average 327.5 yards per game, passing 134.5, and they're rushing for an average of 193 yards per game, and a lot of that is due to their miracle man, Eric Jack.
Oh, gee, just like last week when John Bell was playing for Bowie. Matter of fact, Bowie is still number 1 in the city, if I'm not mistaken.
Eric Jack averaging 126 yards per game. 2-5A race is wide open, and the Troopers trying to stay in it as they scrimmage 1st down and 20 from their own 30-yard line. John McCartan is the wide receiver, split to the far side. Motion now to the near side from McCartan. Bootleg from Daly, and he fools nobody. Showing a little bit of athletic ability. He's skirting out of the backfield, for he's finally brought down, chased down from behind by Julio Soto.
Julio Soto does a nice job, but let me tell you, this is all Rocky Daly's athletic ability. He runs by as he keeps the ball, and he tried this last year, and he did a very good job in the first game against Coronado. All it is, it's just a bootleg, and the Socorro defensive players just take themselves out of the play altogether, and Daly has a nice pickup.
Daly turns a loss of about 4 into a gain of 5. 2nd down for the Troop. Quick pass over the middle to Brian Watson, and it goes incomplete, just too tall. Covered on the play by Ernie Mesa, who now is hobbled as he comes back to the Socorro huddle.
Mesa might have twisted an ankle as he was trying to stay in with Watson. Watson, again, he just did instead of doing what we call a drag pattern going across the middle, he took the 1 step, and Mesa went with him, and then Watson took off on a fly, and he might have pulled a muscle. But it looks like he's going to stay in there. 3rd down.
3rd down and 16 yards to go for the Eastwood Troopers as they scrimmage. Wide receiver to the near side is number 86, Mike Shindo. Daly is back to pass. He's under pressure, and he throws this one away just before he gets tackled by number 31. A penalty flag is down, probably intentional grounding on the play. Number 31, Robert Cardiel, the middle linebacker, in on the stop.
Great pressure again for Socorro Bulldogs as they went back to their original game plan, and Socorro just came in and they were all over Rocky Daly, and he said, I don't want to take this loss, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it, and that will cost them a down. Before it was already 3rd down anyway. But look how many players in the red jerseys are around Daly. Here comes the blitz. They got 1, 2, 3 shooting the gaps right up the middle. Daly says, nope, that hurts too. That really does hurt.
Julio Soto blitzing from the outside and blitzing from the inside. Both linebackers getting a lot of pressure. And you see the Mad Dog football fans out here. They are crazy. I'm telling you. 8 minutes and 4 seconds left to play in the opening half. 13-7 Troop, and they're punting it away. Bobby Flores set in punt formation, and he will get this one away. It's a low kick, but it goes long, and it's going to be taken by Ernie Mesa at about the 47-yard line. He cuts across midfield, and he's up to about the 47. The ball pops loose, but I wonder if he was already down. I think so, Rob.
I think he was down. You can't let the ground, the referee said, no, his knee was already on the ground. Some of the Eastwood Troopers are trying to be referees, but they're not too happy about that. But no, still, it should be, Socorro's football, because you can't let the ground cause the fumble. 1st and on this one. This will be
over the middle, in and out of the hands of Dan Vallejo, who was cutting upfield, and it's going to be 2nd down on the incompletion.
That play would have worked very, very well. What Socorro did is they had 2 of their wide receivers, i.e. Vallejo and another player down here, and they cleared out the end. But going down deep down the sideline, I was watching up there, they had one-on-one coverage on their fastest man on the field for Socorro, and he was all by himself. So that should be interesting.
Pretty good pass by Torres. Coach Bargeman says he's still making young mistakes, but he's improving with every game. Motion to the near side from Ernie Mason. Things get stopped up in the Socorro backfield. Torres gets it away to Mesa, amazingly, as he was wrapped up in the arms, and it's going to turn into a big gain for Socorro. Enough for the first down, I do believe.
Yes, I think you're right there, Paul. Give Tony Torres all the credit in the world. Watch him eat in the grass. This is all athletic ability. Here's the mess up right here. They snap the ball. Now look at Torres. Says, okay, I got to get rid of this. Does a great job, and then they make the catch, and he runs up the field for first down. There he's being caught right there by the Eastwood troopers. 1st and 10 for Socorro on the 40-yard line, 35-yard line.
Beautiful heads-up play by Tony Torres, the junior quarterback. Eddie Gutierrez, the down lineman who had a hand on Torres, probably can't believe that one. 1st and 10 for the Socorro Bulldogs. Pitch back, and this is going to be number 33, Lalo Barba. And Barba turns his legs hard before he's out of bounds on the near sideline. Going to be a pickup of a couple of yards, maybe 3.
You know, people think it's boring, but these running backs can't get anywhere without the linemen. It's always the unsung heroes, and running backs who do this professionally, they always take care of their linemen. They buy them dinners, they give them nice watches, they give them extra bonuses for X amount of number of yards. I'm very serious, you know. No, they don't do that.
Not at the high school level anyway. Raul Oaxaca split to the near side. Wing left is Abel Madrid out of the I formation. The inside give is going to go. No, bootleg. This is Tony Torres breaking to the outside, but the troopers are onto him. And Torres will cut upfield for a couple of yards on that second down play.
Torres really took a shot from the defense, and I mean, that really stung. Took the helmet right in the gut, and that really does hurt.
Beautiful bootleg by Tony Torres. He hit that ball remarkably.
He had pressure coming from the backside. That makes it 3rd down and about 6 yards to go as the defense for Eastwood is starting to tighten up just a little bit. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Got a great halftime show coming up for you here in the Lower Valley.
Big 3rd down, and the Socorro Bulldogs trying to keep this drive alive. Split backs behind Torres, and jumping across the line of scrimmage is Jorge McNichol, and what do you know, penalty flags fly. We'll see if McNichol was drawn offsides or whether there was motion from that interior offensive line.
You know, when I hear announcers say, was he drawn offside, my daughter, who's 12 years old, said, Dad, do they have pencils down there? No, I don't think you understand. You know, I know that was bad. Sorry. Referees are saying, okay, where can we get the milk, and we'll get the beer, and we'll get the peanuts. We're going to have a game afterwards. And I think
Socorro Bulldogs, Rob, they have more kids than anybody in the city out for football. And there you see, they're standing on the track, just like we expected.
Absolutely. They are doing
out on the western end zone. They're wrapped around, standing about 2 or 3 deep. Illegal procedure is going to be the call.
Watch this. They're going to say both people were offside. They're saying that both teams, the quarterback, Torres, is reaching under the center. Here comes, there we go. I don't know. You got to see. You got to see it. Parchman's upset. Look at John. John's going, excuse me. Could I have your telephone number? We need a 4th player for tomorrow's golf tee-off at 7:30 up here.
I don't think he's saying that.
You don't think so?
He had a little bit of trouble with referees last week against Ysleta, and he doesn't want any of the same.
And he's looking, now he's talking to the referees again, and now they're going to have to make a decision here. So 5 minutes, 45 seconds to play. Good crowd on hand tonight, as you can see down on the east side. Now, here we're talking. He's saying, Coach, I can't make it at 7:30 tomorrow morning. If we make it at 8, I think we might be able to make it. And Parchman's saying, look, buddy, we have to tee off at 7:30 because this is a very important ball game. Personal foul against the coach. They're calling unsportsmanlike conduct against John Parchman. So maybe he didn't say he wanted to tee off tomorrow morning at 7:30. Too bad.
That hurts the Socorro Bulldogs. Had a good drive going there, and now it's going to be 3rd down, and it appears about 20 yards to go, rather than the 3rd down and 5 before all this started.
Now the referees are telling Parchman to keep his players. That's really what the call is. There are chalk lines, and they have it marked off on the sidelines. They are told to keep the players inside those lines and off the field by 3 yards, and the entire team was out of there. Maybe that's what they called.
3rd down and 20, and Raul Oaxaca splits to the far side. In motion to the near side is Ernie Mesa. A penalty flag is down as Torres guns it downfield for Mesa, who can't make the grab. He had Tyrone Davis beat by a couple of steps on that one, but I don't think it's going to count. I think Mesa jumped across the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
Right before that ball was hiked again.
This is a good thrown ball. Torres just hangs it up there. Watch it come into your living room. Just stick your hands out. Here comes the ball. and the ball will just hang up there, and Torres throws it up there, and Mesa is just going to run under. This is how close it is. Just a little bit behind him off the back shoulder pad.
Troopers going to decline it and force a 4th down, and the Socorro Bulldogs, who were driving, started this possession at the Eastwood 47, will now have to punt it away.
Big play there was the penalty against Socorro. Now it's 13-7 with 5.5 minutes to play in the first half, and Socorro will do the punting. He'll probably angle this.
Angel Ranquillo back in punt formation. It's a high snap. Every long snap's an adventure. He gets it away, though, and this one's not going to be returned. Going to take a Socorro Bulldog bounce and go all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
Good punt for Socorro Bulldogs, and they're going to start deep in the territory for Eastwood, about their 9-yard line, Paul, if they mark the ball where the referee was standing. If I'm not mistaken, that should be about the 9, which is very, very interesting. Makes it a little bit difficult for Paul and I to see because they don't have any yard markers. I'm not trying to make excuses. And it makes it 1st and 10 for the Troopers on the 9. So they got 91 yards to go and 5 minutes and 15 seconds to do it in the first half.
13-7, the Eastwood Troopers on top, starting in the hole here. Rocky Daly going to give it off inside. Short yardage on that play. Socorro defense in on the gang tackle.
Socorro D looked like an entire Red Sea, didn't it? Eric Jack. He's getting up real slow. He's getting up real slow, saying, that was an entire wave of the Socorro City making the tackle. 2nd down and about 9 as he picked up a yard for Eastwood, and that'll be Eric Jack's 83rd. That's 83 yards now at 5 carries.
High backfield, Ramon Arcenega, the fullback. To give us to the tailback, though, and this is Jack, and he is stuck by Dan Vallejo after he gets up for perhaps a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Going to give him a generous spot and 4 yards.
3rd down and about 6 yards to go for Eastwood. Watch Socorro start shooting their backs again, their backers, I should say, and they'll go to a bump and run on one side as they go man-on-man on one side, and then their speed, that'll be their speed, and they'll have a secondary on the close side. They'll keep
big 3rd down play, and they're playing for field position. The troop doesn't want to punt it away. They want to get a first, and it looks like they are going to have to punt it away. Ground game doesn't work that time. Socorro defense standing tall.
And they're stopping them. What I was going to say, Paul, and I couldn't spit it out because my brain's not working tonight. It never does, though, does it?
It sure does sometimes.
Socorro sits there, and they're waiting for all the speed, and they're going on a deep zone coverage, and that's why Eastwood was throwing those quick passes.
Socorro defense pretty good on in pressure situations. Had their best game of the season against Fort Stockton. They stopped the opposition on 4th down and short 3 times in that ball game. Bobby Flores standing at the goal line, about ready to punt this one away. A lot of motion on the line of scrimmage, and we could have encroachment
from the Socorro Bulldogs. Let's see what the referees call, though. They might want to make this one up. Here we go with another committee. Okay, Coach said he needed a 4th partner just a few minutes ago for that 7:30 tee-off down here in Socorro. Maybe one of you guys can make it. You don't think he's saying that, though, do you?
Troop could get a 1st down out of this. If it is against Socorro, it's going to be dead ball encroachment.
Against
Coach Parchman not very happy on the near sideline, trying to keep his troops' heads together. Started off hot, but have cooled off a little bit since their initial drive of the game. Drove 55 yards. Torres hit Mesa on an 8-yard touchdown pass for their only score of the ball game. Troopers have pretty much been in control since then. Eric Jack, 2 touchdown runs, 1 of 5 yards, and then 1 of 40 yards.
Is that going to give them a 1st down, Paul, or are they just going to be short by a yard? There you see a shot of the crowd. Look at the crowd we have tonight in Socorro. They take their football real serious here in the Valley. Great shot from Paragon Cable.
I'm telling you, like I said earlier, they were talking a couple of years back about moving this game to the Sun Bowl, but Coach Parchman said he wanted to keep it down here and maintain that home field advantage.
During the delay here, let's talk about what Coach Parchman has done in the past 4 years. The Socorro football team really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. They're gonna measure for a 1st down, and Parchman Parchman.
Fourth down and about a yard, and the troop is going to punt it away. Bobby Flores gets his foot into this one. He's got a thunderfoot. It's going to bounce right at about the Trooper 49, cross midfield. And the troop going to down it at about the 47 of the Socorro Bulldogs, and that's where they will start. First down and 10 with excellent field position once again.
Socorro does have excellent field position. They have 2 minutes, 54 seconds to play in the first half, and all they have to do is mix up the plays, and I think that's what John Parchman is going to tell them here. Take your time, go down there, and Tony, all you have to do is do your game plan. Just do the game plan that we have set up against Eastwood tonight, and what they're doing is they're doing misdirection plays, and that really is slowing down the Trooper offense to keep, I should say the Trooper defense to keep them honest.
52 yards to drive for the Socorro Bulldogs to tie up this ball game. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left to go until halftime. Mesa in motion to the near side once again. Torres looking downfield for receivers. Can't find one, and he goes down in a heap of troopers, Rob.
Torres did the smart thing. I thought he was going to throw the football, but Coach John Parchman, like he talked about, he's young, but he's making young mistakes. But Torres showed a heady move when he did throw the football.
Look downfield for his initial receiver. It was Ernie Mesa on the near side. Good defensive coverage by the Eastwood Troopers, and Torres just had to eat that ball. Loss of about a yard on that play. Going to be second down and 11. Ball spotted at the 46.5-yard line, we'll call it. To the near side, Oaxaca on second down. Motion to the near side from Vallejo. Torres back to pass again. Penalty marker down. Complete on the near side to Oaxaca.
Ooh.
And he gets
hammered.
Oh, yeah, banged hard as he gets down to the Trooper 45, but once again, a penalty marker down on the field.
You can tell that man has a young body because usually when they get up there, if you remember in the pros, that's what they're going to call backfield in motion against Socorro as they're jumping off. They're jumping before the ball is snapped, and they're starting to do motion. I was saying that you could tell that these kids are young because usually when you're down like that and you have 3 or 4 guys around you, you usually go ahead and you try to give a shot off on the way down, but he was standing up and he let 3 or 4 guys hit him, so that shows a young body and a young football player. He'll learn how to stay down and not take that shot.
Socorro Bulldogs struggling a little bit on the offensive execution, have been plagued by 4 penalties on their offensive side the last 3 possessions. Second down and about 20 yards to go as they get the down over. Jackie Alvarado split to the far side. Wing right is going to be Ernie Mason. Now he goes in motion. Torres going to be looking to pass again. He has time. Lets it fly. Has Alvarado. And Alvarado gains about 10 yards on the play. He gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. Drug out of bound by John McCartan.
Alvarado just goes down and does a real nice square out about 10 yards. And he says, okay, let me go out toward the sideline. And Torres goes back. This is a very difficult pass to throw because you're a right-hander and you're rolling to the left. Has a lot of zip on that football. There's Torres, and here's McCartan making the stop, a short tackle stop. Makes it, third down and about 10 yards to go for Socorro.
Eric Jack lining up in the Trooper defensive secondary. He's in at one corner, Tyrone Davis the other. Motion from Ernie Mason. Torres is looking to gun it downfield again. He lets it fly. He has a man, Mesa, who almost makes the diving catch. What a try. The ball was on his hands, but he just can't corral it in, and it's going to bring up fourth down and punting time for Socorro.
Ernie Mesa runs a very nice pattern. Now, here's Torres. He's going to lay it up there because Mesa has all the speed that Socorro Bulldogs have, and Mesa has run a fly pattern. Watch him almost make this circus catch. Ooh. So close, so close. Fourth down for Socorro. About a minute, just a little bit over a minute to play in the first half. Got a great halftime show for you here from Socorro. It's the Socorro band and also their pep squad. We'll talk about that at half.
Angel Ronquillo set to punt it away. Back deep for the troop. Tyrone Davis along with Eric Jack. And this is another good punt from Ronquillo, and this one is going to be returned. It's going to be Jack. Jack cuts upfield, takes on tacklers. A penalty marker is down. He's out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Eric Jack is going to be out of breath when he finishes his first half. Let's take a look what the referee is going to call. They're looking at the line. I think they're holding against Eastwood. They'll march it back 10 yards or 15 and say first and 10 for Eastwood. I think that Todd Ware will probably be happy. Now, there you see some of the young ladies getting ready for tonight's first half, the Socorro people. 1st and 10 for the Troopers, about their 24-yard line. 1st and 10.
It's going to be John McCartan and number 86, Mike Shindo, split to the far side. Now out of the backfield, motion from Eric Jack as the Troopers scrimmage on 1st down. Quick pass goes out to Brian Watson, and he's going to look downfield for Shindo on the trick play. Shindo makes the grab, and he's down to the 30. Todd Ware pulling a little razzle-dazzle hocus-pocus here in the waning moments of the first half. His team up 13-7, and what a huge play that is.
All it is a pass over. It's not a pass, actually. It's a backward pitch out, but in a pass. There's a throw, and then Jack says, all right, let me throw this as far as I can. And Watson runs underneath the football. Boom. Long play, good for quite a few yards against Socorro Bulldogs.
1st and 10 from the Eastwood Troopers. Daly is back to pass. He lets it fly downfield, has a man. John McCartan, touchdown. Whoa.
Circus catch from John McCartan, making it look like he's in the pros already, for crying out loud. That was a great concentration catch from John McCartan. He knows that he's coming up on the end zone, and he has to know exactly where he's at. But look at the concentration. Daly goes back, plants that foot, and now he's just going to let it fly, and McCartan has run a fly pattern. Look at this. Great concentration. That hurts when you come onto the ground and you have the receiver fall, or the defensive back fall on you. But it's good for a touchdown, and it's now 19-7, and Eastwood has called the timeout with 30 seconds, half a minute to play in the first half. Eastwood has called the timeout. They're going to talk about going for 2 points to try to make it 21-7.
Troopers go the long field in a hurry. 2 plays, 76 yards, Rob. Going through the air twice. Brian Watson hitting Mike Shindo on the big play. And then right there, John McCartan, a 32-yard touchdown pass from Rocky Daly with 30 seconds left to play in the opening half. 19-7. And that Socorro Bulldog lady still has a smile on her face. Has a lot of faith in her team.
Absolutely right, because the Bulldogs, if you'll remember, come from behind all the time to try and win the games. Like I said, we're going to have a barn burner down here in the valley.
Socorro has had to come from behind in 3 of their 4 games, and Coach Parchman says his team has been learning to keep cool under pressure, and they're feeling the pressure right now, and they're going to have to try to keep it together.
Going for 2. For 2.
They line up with Matt Martinez at the fullback. He stays at the fullback. Everybody else shifts out. John McCartan is on wing left, and now he goes in motion. The 2-point conversion. Daly is smacked hard. Oh, geez. Daly takes a shot and the ball pops loose. It's recovered by Robert Cardiel.
Cardiel does a nice job. Boy, Daly took a shot, didn't he?
Ooh.
Look, watch Daly take the shot from the Socorro defense. Watch his head jerk back. Boom. Hello. But Daly did a nice job of getting that pitch out, and it was just too far and too wide, and Socorro's on top of it.
So with 30 seconds left to play in the opening half, 19-7 in favor of the Eastwood Troopers as they failed to convert on their second 2-point conversion of this ball game. Socorro defense, a moral victory for them right there, perhaps, Rob.
Right. You know, what did they have? They had 4 downs to get in with Fort Stockton here a couple of weeks ago with Socorro, and they held them. Their defense has come together very, very good for Socorro. They're still in the ballgame. They can hold their heads up real high. They got a half a minute to play, and watch what Parchman is saying. Let's go back in the school. Let's go back and talk about this and stay on our game plan. Let's not mess up.
And their game plan, Rob, as you will recall, was to play sound defense and not to give up that big play. And they've given up a couple of big plays, and that's why they're in a hole right now.
Right.
Only 3 returning starters now for Socorro as the ball is teed up, and Chaparro will kick it away to East Los. No, he's going to kick the scoop kick, and this one's going to bounce off Socorro, guys, and Eastwood has a shot at it. But it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by a Socorro player, and the Bulldogs will get it. And I'm sure a sigh of relief by Coach John Parchman on the near sideline.
I was watching John's hair grow a little bit grayer as that ball was kicked, and it started flying all over the place. 1st and 10 for the Socorro Bulldogs on the 37-yard line. 25 seconds to play. I think what Coach Parchman and his Bulldogs will do, they'll just go in there and say, okay, let's take a chill pill, let's relax a little bit, and let's keep to our game plan. We're only behind. All we have to do is score 2 touchdowns, and we can do this.
The Socorro offense has just missed by inches thus far in this ball game. A lot of passes by Tony Torres just not caught. Raul Oaxaca is split to the far side. Motion from Mesa. They'll give it straight up the middle to Robert Cardiel, the big fullback, and he'll be met immediately at the line of scrimmage. Stop made by Matt Martinez, the linebacker. 15 seconds now left to play.
Good ball handling by the quarterback, Torres. I was getting ready to say, a little play action here, but then I turned around and Cordell had the football, so it's going to be at the end of the first half.
They're going to let this clock run out, and that is the end of the first half, and the Eastwood Troopers have come back from a 7-point deficit to lead it 19-7 here at Socorro Stadium. That's our halftime score, and we'll be back with halftime activities and a whole lot more. Stick close. We'll be back in just a moment.